ESimple channel.
English for all. Learning and exploring together.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the third episode of our podcast. We're Adam and Hana, and we're melting with excitement to finally be here. In today's episode, we're going to talk about ice cream, the CIA, and a super interesting story. So grab a bowl of ice cream, settle in, and let's get started.
We're going to be scooping into the history of ice cream, but with a twist you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
A dash of Cold War espionage.
Intriguing, right.
Yeah.
We'll be exploring some excerpts about ice cream's origins, but we have to start with this almost unbelievable story about the CIA, Fidel Castro, and a milkshake with a very chilling secret.
When I first stumbled upon this, I thought it had to be a joke. Picture this. 1963.
Okay.
The Havana Libre Hotel and Fidel Castro.
Right.
A man who reportedly could put away 18 scoops of ice cream in one sitting.
Oh, wow.
The CIA, in a move straight out of a spy film,
Right.
decides to try and poison him with a milkshake.
A milkshake.
A milkshake.
Oh, my God.
It's a plan so outlandish, it almost circles back to brilliant, except for one crucial detail. The poison pill they tried to use froze solid to the inside of the freezer.
Oh, no.
Imagine the look on the would-be assassin's face when they went to retrieve that milkshake.
Oh, gosh.
You almost have to admire the absurdity of it all.
Yeah.
But this bizarre story really highlights how something as seemingly innocent as ice cream can get caught up in world-changing events.
Exactly. And it reminds us that even everyday items have fascinating histories, often intertwined with larger cultural and political shifts.
Okay, so before we get too lost in the world of spies and frozen poison, let's rewind all the way back.
Okay.
Did you know that chilled treats, the ancestors of our beloved ice cream, date back to ancient times?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking Roman emperors using snow from the mountains.
Wow.
Persians with these ingenious sky cooling pools to freeze water.
Oh, wow.
These methods, while simple compared to what we have today, show how much people valued a cold treat even thousands of years ago.
It's mind-boggling to think they were so resourceful,
Yeah.
creating these icy delights without modern refrigeration. And it makes you wonder, what did those early ice creams taste like?
Well, prepare to be surprised.
Okay.
Well, they did use fruits.
Yeah.
Some of the flavors were, let's just say, a bit more adventurous.
More adventurous, okay.
We're talking pine cone, eggplant, even meat-based flavors.
Pine cone ice cream.
Yeah.
I don't know if my taste buds are ready for that level of adventure. It really puts into perspective how much our palates and what we consider delicious have evolved over time.
It's fascinating to think that even thousands of years ago, people were craving a cold, sweet treat just like we do today. That basic human desire has fueled so much ingenuity over the centuries, as we've seen with the evolution of ice cream.
You know, it makes me appreciate every scoop even more, knowing how much history and innovation went into it. But how exactly did we go from those ancient concoctions to the creamy goodness we enjoy today?
That's where our journey takes us next. It's believed that the modern creamy ice cream we know and love was inspired by sharbat, a Middle Eastern icy drink that eventually made its way to Europe through cultural exchanges.
Ah. So the next time I'm indulging in a scoop of pistachio ice cream,
Yeah.
I can think about its connection to sharbat. It's a great example of how food and recipes travel with people and cultures influencing culinary traditions along the way.
Absolutely. And this cultural exchange is evident in the evolution of ice cream recipes. For instance, in 1692, an Italian chef named Antonio Latini recorded what some consider the first true ice cream recipe.
Okay.
This milk-based concoction set the stage for what we now know as ice cream.
So we've gone from emperors using mountain snow to formalized recipes. That's quite a leap.
Yeah.
But even with a recipe, I imagine ice cream was still quite the luxury back then.
You're absolutely right,
Yeah.
especially when it crossed the Atlantic with European settlers to North America.
Okay.
Making ice cream was incredibly labor-intensive, and the ingredients were expensive, so for quite a while, it was primarily enjoyed by the elite.
Take George Washington, for example. I read that he spent the equivalent of thousands of dollars in today's money on ice cream during one summer.
Wow.
Clearly, it wasn't something everyone could easily afford.
That's a great point. Accessibility plays a huge role in how a food or drink becomes popularized. And ice cream's journey from an elite indulgence to an everyday treat is closely tied to innovation, particularly in technology and production. And that's where the story gets really fascinating. Think about it. Before refrigeration was widely available,
Yeah.
getting your hands on a block of ice was a luxury in itself.
It really makes you appreciate the lengths people went to just to enjoy a cold treat.
Absolutely. But things began to change with the rise of the golden age of ice cream in America.
Okay.
This era was driven by inventors and entrepreneurs who saw the potential of this delicious treat
Yeah.
and found ways to make it more accessible.
Like Nancy Johnson,
Yes.
whose invention of the hand-cranked ice cream maker was a total game changer, wasn't it?
Exactly. You know, it's easy to take for granted the simple act of churning ice cream, but Nancy Johnson's invention was revolutionary.
Right.
Before that, making ice cream was incredibly labor-intensive.
Yeah.
Her design made it possible for people to create those smooth, creamy textures we love at home. And this sparked a wave of home ice cream making.
That must have been so exciting for people at the time.
Wow.
Suddenly, something that had been a luxury for the wealthy was within reach for many more families.
Precisely. But there's another key player in the story.
Okay.
Frederick Tudor, the Ice King. This guy was obsessed with ice.
Okay.
And he figured out how to harvest and ship ice on a massive scale, making it much easier to store and transport ice cream.
So thanks to these pioneers, ice cream was no longer limited to the elite. It was becoming a treat for everyone to enjoy.
Exactly. And with this increased availability came an explosion of creativity. Ice cream wasn't just about basic flavors anymore. Think Rocky Road, cookie dough.
Yeah.
Those kinds of innovations really took off during this period.
It's like ice cream became a blank canvas for culinary experimentation.
Yeah.
And speaking of cultural exchange, we can't forget the role of Italian immigrants in popularizing ice cream on the streets of America.
That's right. In the late 1800s, many Italian immigrants facing economic hardship turned to selling ice cream as a means of livelihood. They brought their own traditions and techniques, further enriching the American ice cream scene. This shift from a luxury item to something more widely available really showcases the impact of cultural exchange. It's fascinating how Italian immigrants who came to cities like New York and London seeking opportunity ended up shaping the way we experience ice cream today.
It's a reminder that food is often a bridge between cultures, a way for people to share their heritage and connect with others.
And speaking of cultural hubs, the rise of the soda fountain played a significant role in ice cream's growing popularity. Now, this might seem like an odd combination, druggists, soda, and ice cream, but it makes sense in the context of the time.
For those who aren't familiar with the soda fountain craze, it was a big deal in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. These were social hubs, and soda was actually considered healthy back then. It's fascinating how perceptions change over time, isn't it?
Absolutely. People would gather at soda fountains to socialize, enjoy a refreshing drink, and of course, indulge in a scoop of ice cream. And this trend was further boosted by an unexpected historical event.
Oh, okay.
Prohibition.
Prohibition.
Yes.
So while the sale of alcohol was banned, people turned to soda fountains for their social fix. And naturally, a scoop of ice cream.
Exactly. It's amazing how something as seemingly unrelated as prohibition could have such a major impact on the ice cream industry. But that's the thing about history. It's full of these surprising connections and unexpected turns.
Speaking of unexpected turns, when I think about how far ice cream has come from ancient emperors using snow to the invention of the ice cream maker and the rise of the soda fountain, it really makes you wonder what the future holds for this beloved treat.
It's a question that sparks the imagination. What new flavors will be dreamt up? What innovations will further transform how we experience ice cream?
Maybe we'll have personalized ice cream flavors based on our DNA, or even ice cream that changes color with our moods.
No, it's a thought-provoking idea. It seems the possibilities are as endless as the flavors themselves. But one thing's for sure. Ice cream has a remarkable ability to adapt and evolve, just like the cultures that have embraced it.
And on that note, we'll transition to part 3 of our deep dive, where we'll delve into some of the quirky, unexpected, and even downright bizarre aspects of ice cream's history. Welcome back, ice cream aficionados.
Here we are.
We've journeyed from ancient origins to soda fountains.
That's right.
But now it's time for the grand finale of our ice cream dip dive. A look at the quirky, the unexpected, and the downright bizarre.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
We've talked about innovation and cultural influence,
Right.
but ice cream's history is also full of delightful oddities. For instance, did you know that at one point someone actually patented an edible ice cream cone?
An edible cone.
An edible cone. Wow. Now that's an idea I can get behind.
I know, right?
I can only imagine how many cones I've accidentally nibbled on over the years.
It seems like a natural progression, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the creativity didn't stop there. There were even attempts to make cones out of pretzels.
A pretzel cone. Now that's a combination I'd love to try. Sweet and salty, crunchy and creamy.
Yeah.
It sounds like the ultimate ice cream experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It speaks to that constant desire to innovate and find new ways to enjoy this beloved treat.
Absolutely.
And speaking of trying new things,
Yeah.
we can't forget about the wild world of ice cream flavors. Some of the concoctions from the past might make even the most adventurous eaters raise an eyebrow.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've all seen those articles about strange ice cream flavors, garlic, lobster, even ketchup and mayonnaise.
Oh my gosh.
Some of those combinations sound downright terrifying.
They do, don't they? But it's a reminder that taste is subjective and ever-evolving.
Right.
What might seem strange to us now could have been a delicacy in another era. It makes you wonder what future generations will think of our favorite flavors. Maybe cookie dough will be the lobster ice cream of tomorrow.
That's a hilarious thought. It really highlights how food trends come and go, and what's considered normal or delicious is always shifting. But no matter the flavor, one thing remains constant. Ice cream's ability to capture our imaginations and bring a little joy to our lives.
Well said.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of our ice cream journey.
Wow.
We've explored its ancient roots, its rise to global fame, and even its quirky side. What stands out to you the most from our deep dive?
Honestly, it's the sheer variety of stories that surround this seemingly simple treat. From emperors and spies to inventors and immigrants, ice cream has touched so many lives in so many different ways. It's a testament to its enduring appeal and its ability to connect us across cultures and time periods.
I couldn't agree more. It's more than just a dessert. It's a reflection of history, culture, and human ingenuity. So the next time you're enjoying a scoop of your favorite flavor, remember the incredible journey it took to get there. From those ancient sky cooling pools to the modern marvels of ice cream production, it's a story worth savoring.
And on that note, we'll leave you with this thought. As you indulge in your next ice cream adventure, take a moment to appreciate its rich history, its endless possibilities, and its simple power to make life a little sweeter. Thanks for joining us on this delicious deep dive.